Good morning. It's Sunday, the sun is shining. I've been to the gym and I thought while I was in the gym, I really ought to stick my head above the parapet and say hello. I haven't really got anything particular to say, and I'm definitely not going to say anything that goes too deep. For those of you who have a vested interest, I've had the busiest work week since I began last week, so it kept me distracted from all of the kind of madness that's been going on inside my head. And actually, I've been doing okay, really. I've got my GP appointment coming up this week. I've got a list of things to talk to her about. So, you have to use that window of opportunity when it arrives, and I will. We'll see where we go from there. I know it's not going to be anytime soon with getting the ball rolling here, but I just have to be patient. Those of you who have seen videos and talked to me about the passage of time know that patience is one of the biggest assets I had while I was serving my prison sentences. So I'll just apply it here and see what happens. But yeah, we're not talking about any quick fixes, so awareness is the key. I won't get frustrated. I will just plod on and see where it all goes. Anyway, since the Olympics, I think, finally ended last night, I thought I might talk about my experience with that. I didn't watch a huge amount this time because I had a lot of work on, but I saw some really, really great stuff, and it took my mind back. I've always been a fan of the Olympic Games, like a big fan, going all the way back to 1980. I remember, I vaguely remember, I was 7 at the time. I think a Scotsman called possibly Alan Wells won the 100 metres gold medal, I think. This was in 1980 when Russia weren't there, that I remember. I might be wrong about that, and I'm sure somebody will correct me. So, but I'm just dredging from my own childhood memories. And I also remember in 1980 a young man called Daley Thompson winning the decathlon gold, which he then went on to defend in Los Angeles in 1984. And I really remember that because by 1984, Daley Thompson was one of my 2 greatest sporting heroes. The other being Ian Botham. I was a big cricket fan and I was playing a lot of cricket back then, and I also was in my school athletics team. Daley Thompson was a hero. So much so, in fact, that around that time, summer 1984, I went to Thorpe Park. I was, 11? Is that right? Yeah, I was 11. Jesus. And I met a girl there called Mandy. I thought about this last night, and I remember very well. It's amazing the stuff that I retain, almost worthless, but there it is. So I met this girl at Thorpe Park called Mandy, and she lived in Marlow in Buckinghamshire, which is near Henley. And such a hero was Daley Thompson that I told Mandy my name was Daley. And we swapped addresses and we pen friended each other a few times before inevitably it all fizzled out. But the first letter I got from her, my dad came to my room and he handed me the letter. He didn't actually say anything about the fact that Daily Ravenhill was written on the envelope, but yeah, bit embarrassing. But there you go. And that was also at a time when I really didn't like my name Piers, so I was happy to jettison. Olympics, yeah. So Daley Thompson, I have a huge admiration for Sir Stephen Redgrave. 5 Olympic gold medals over 5 Olympics, incredible. Probably no one in the British team will ever surpass that. I was also, in a way, fortunate to be linked to the Olympics by my school. When I ended up at Hampton, it was very much a rowing school. My friend in my year at Hampton was called Greg Searle, and he and his brother Johnny won Olympic gold in rowing in 1992 in Barcelona. The last time I saw Greg, he was on uh, that TV series, was it Superstars, something like that, where they had athletes competing against each other in various kind of competitions, athletics based competitions, fitness based. But yeah, Greg and Johnny was in the year above me at Hampton. They were nice guys. I didn't spend a huge amount of time with Greg. We kind of moved in different circles in our year, but I remember him. He actually lived only about a mile away from me in Lyne in Chertsey back then. Moving forward, I saw a great documentary about Linford Christie the other night, and he was also taking part in that. And I always got the feeling that Linford was affected by all of the stuff around him during his career. You know, Linford's lunchbox was vaguely amusing. I was only, sort of 18, 16, 18, 20 back then. So, as a sort of childish young man, things like that were kind of amusing, but it absolutely ruined him emotionally. And obviously there was the smell around his performances in terms of traces of things that were found in his system. Interestingly, I think it was in Barcelona in '92, he tested positive for something again, and the upshot was that the authorities there decided that on balance of probability he was okay, but in that situation I guess it never really leaves you, and Linford Christie has been a quiet person since his retirement. I coincidentally I have competed at the Linford Christie Stadium in White City, right next to Wormwood Scrubs, which I've never been in. I used to be in the athletics team at my school, and we competed in I'm not even sure what it was, Southern Schools Championships, something like that. More recent sort of heroes of mine, Dame Kelly Holmes, fantastic. I also love anybody who takes part in multi-event competitions, and we've just seen Katarina Johnson Thompson. Is it Johnson Thompson or Thompson Johnson? I think it's Thompson Johnson. She's done really well, silver medal. Natalie TM is just unbelievable, so it was always going to be difficult, but KJT, she will be happy with her silver, I think. I'm going to come back and do a bit more, but for now, stay well.